Welcome back to McCarthy Performance. Today we're going to be working on the ck-10. I'm making a cradle for it to roll it around the shop. Somebody was asking about how I held that 350 off the side of the mill, and basically this is just a piece of 1-inch thick by 2 cold roll, and I've had them for a long time. And when I want to grab a hold of something, if the holes aren't there, I put them in it. There's a bunch of different holes in it. And primarily I use this for when I put Mallory metal in crankshafts and I want to bore holes in it. There's not a whole of a lot of deflection in a piece of 1-inch thick cold roll. And the engine was quite close to the table, so I wasn't hanging it way off. Now, I call this the diving board, but believe me, there's no spring in that board. He was questioning whether, hanging that much weight off the end of the mill would, be wise to maybe put a jack underneath the bottom of it. And my response to that is for drilling a simple hole, I wouldn't worry about it. I've drilled and milled off the side of this and never had much of a problem. If you're going to do something very precise, which I don't consider a water pump hole very precise, at that point you might want to take some jacks and put it underneath the bottom, and of course you're going to dial in the head and degree it within under 1/1000th of an inch. And when you get into that kind of tolerances and you lock the table down, of course everything's going to move a little bit. So this is I wouldn't consider this, or would I use it probably for something that was super accurate. I mean, it'd take a long time to degree it in. It's just another way of getting a hold of something, and that's what we did. So I'm going to take this off, but seeing how it was on the table, I thought I'd mention it. There's really nothing to it, and it's no big secret. Of course, you got to watch out because you want to make sure that when you swing the head out as far as it'll go, you're only going to have a little bit of room depending on how wide it is and where you clamp it before you hit the knee of the machine. So pretty basic, pretty simple. Somebody wanted to know how I was going about doing it, and that's how I did it. And that's about it on that. So I'm going to get going and start building my cradle for my ck-10, and hopefully by the end of the day or close to it, I'll have something I can stick under it and I can roll it around. So when you can't get the bolts you want, I guess you cut them down. At least that's what I do. And I got a lot of these, and so I got most of them cut down for the coaster wheels on the cradle for the ck-10, and they're a little too long, so we'll zip them down. Yeah, grind the little scale off to do a little TIG welding on this. I do not recommend doing this. This is for entertainment purposes only. Well, I got it all welded up, but I ran out of steel. I'm going to change the design a little bit. Well, there it is. It's just too windy to open the doors up to slide it under the hone. Well, I got it under the ck-10. Cradle didn't fold like a taco, which is a good thing. I'm going to run these bolts, and these are going to be kind of like a rocker clamp, if you're familiar with them, rocker clamps on a frame machine. Well, it's going to pinch that channel from both sides. So I don't have all the weight on it, but I got quite a bit of weight on it right now. I'm going to push it ahead just a little bit more because I got a little bit of a gap here. I can get it back a little bit. I want them wheels, all the weight on the center of that wheel if possible, and it's just a little bit off right now. So, well, I'll be back on line boring stuff and machining things, but it's just a little video of me screwing around, and it's a little bit high in the air, but you know, I'll see how it is. If I have to, I'll make like a 2-inch riser. I purposely wanted it up higher than it originally sat because I'd rather reach than bend. It's just a point in my life where bending for me is a real problem, so I'd rather have it a little bit high than have to be bending over all the time working on a machine. It's just my way my situation is in my life right now. I just can't do any bending anymore. Well, it's getting closer. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe if you would. It don't cost nothing. Thanks.